The memory of that evening is etched into my mind with crystalline clarity. A crisp, invigorating winter night. The kind that makes your breath fog the air in delicate swirls as you step inside from the cold. My friend had invited me over to his cozy home, a place that always felt like a sanctuary, warm and welcoming after the relentless pace of our busy lives. We've been looking forward to this for weeks, a chance to unwind, to reconnect over shared laughter and easy conversation. But this time there was an added thrill. His family had just installed a sauna. I'd never experienced one before. The idea alone sent a ripple of anticipation through me. The heat, the steam, the way it promised to melt away every knot of tension in my body. My friend mentioned, almost casually, that his mother, Isabella, would likely be the one to guide me through it. She was something of an expert, he said, with a knowing smile that I didn't quite understand at the time. When I arrived, he greeted me with his usual warmth, but our plans shifted almost immediately. "I've got to run out for a bit. Something for my dad," he said, clapping me on the shoulder. "But don't wait for me. Go ahead and use the sauna. Mom's around if you need anything." The idea of being alone with Isabella sent an unexpected flicker of nerves through me, but I nodded, brushing it off as nothing. As I made my way down the hall, the soft glow of lamplight guiding me, I nearly collided with her. She stood there, radiant as ever, her dark eyes alight with amusement. "So, you're finally going to try the sauna?" she asked, her voice like honey. Smooth, rich, just a little intoxicating. I nodded, suddenly hyper-aware of her presence. The way her sweater draped just so over her curves. The way her lips curved into a smile that felt different. "Private? Good," she murmured. "Let me show you how it works." She led me to the small wooden structure nestled at the back of their house, her movements graceful, unhurried. Inside, the air was already thick with warmth, the scent of cedar enveloping us. She explained everything, how to adjust the heat, the importance of hydration, the way to breathe deeply to let the steam work its magic. But it was the way she spoke, the cadence of her voice, that held me captive. Soft, deliberate, almost hypnotic. And then there were the pauses. The way her gaze lingered on me a second too long. The way she bit her lower lip, just slightly, as if considering something. "You'll be fine on your own," she said finally, turning to leave. But then she hesitated, her hand resting on the doorframe. Glancing back over her shoulder, she added, her voice dropping to a whisper, "You know, it's better if you take off your clothes. Lets the heat really get to you." My breath hitched. It wasn't just the words. It was the way she said them, like a secret, like an invitation. She left before I could respond, the door clicking shut behind her. For a moment, I just stood there, pulse racing, the air suddenly too thick, too heavy. Then, slowly, I stripped off my shirt and my pants, the heat wrapping around my bare skin like a second embrace. I don't know how much time passed before the door creaked open again, just enough for the sweat to bead along my collarbone, for my thoughts to spiral into dangerous territory. Isabella stepped inside, the steam curling around her like a veil. "Everything okay?" she asked, though the glint in her eyes told me she already knew the answer. "Perfect," I managed, my voice rougher than I intended. She smiled, slow and knowing, before closing the door behind her. "Mind if I join you?" The bench was narrow. She sat close, too close, her thigh brushing against mine. The heat between us had nothing to do with the sauna. We talked, or tried to, about nothing, about everything. But the words were just noise beneath the real conversation. The way her fingers traced idle patterns on my arm, the way her breath hitched when I turned to face her. Then, without warning, her hand was on my thigh. Light, teasing. "You're tense," she murmured, her lips so close I could almost taste them. "Let me help you relax." I should have stopped her, should have remembered who she was, who I was. But the moment her mouth met mine, all reason dissolved. Her kiss was slow, deliberate, intoxicating. Her body pressed against mine, skin slick with sweat, every curve fitting against me like she was made to be there. Her hands were everywhere, tracing my chest, sliding lower, her touch igniting a fire that had nothing to do with the sauna. When she finally guided me inside her, it was with a sigh that sounded like relief, like she'd been waiting for this just as long as I had. We moved together, lost in the steam, in the haze of desire that made the world outside irrelevant. There was only her, the way she arched against me, the way her nails dug into my shoulders, the whispered words against my skin that I felt more than heard. Afterward, we stayed tangled together, breathless, the air thick with the scent of cedar and sex. She traced my jaw with her fingertips, her smile lazy, satisfied. "We should probably go," she murmured, though she made no move to leave. I knew she was right, knew this was dangerous, reckless. But as she leaned in to kiss me again, slow and deep, I also knew one thing for certain. This wouldn't be the last time.